Alec Baldwin's daughter is not only defending Travis Scott following the disaster at Astroworld, but she is also oddly comparing it to the Rust shooting that her father was involved with. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know right here on I.O. But first, if you happen to be new here and you don't want to miss another video, make sure you tap that subscribe button. And with that out of the way, let's begin. Alec Baldwin's daughter, Ireland, is now comparing the public reaction to her father's accidental shooting on the set of Rust to this Astroworld festival disaster. In a since deleted Instagram story, Ireland claimed that the criticism of Travis Scott following the deadly event was due to misinformation and twisted cancel culture BS. However, at the same time, she also mentioned that he has incited rage and riots at his past gigs, which means she at least understands that Travis Scott concerts get dangerous while he's performing. In her Instagram story, Ireland Baldwin writes, "Y'all are really killing me these days. You believe everything that you see on Twitter and TikTok and completely bandwagon on spreading misinformation. First, you were armory/stunt coordination pros when it came to the horrific tragedy involving my dad, and now Travis Scott is demonic because allowed people to die at his show. I'll start by saying I am heartbroken for the families who lost a loved one. Everyone should feel safe when they're going to enjoy live music, but it's not Travis Scott's fault. Any actual musician would validate that you can't see or hear anyone up there, especially when wearing in-ear monitors. Come on people, do a little research before you go spewing cancel culture BS. People lost their children at this show and all you've got to say is that Travis Scott's music is demonic and he belongs in prison." And the amount of contradictions in this post are astounding. She goes from saying that no one should get hurt listening to live music and then tries to say that Travis shouldn't be at all responsible when people get hurt listening to his music. I mean, he literally has lyrics that talk about people getting hurt at his shows. In the song Stargazing, he says in one verse, "Got new money, got new problems, got new enemies. When you make it to the top, that's the amenities. Packing out Toyota like I'm in the league, and it ain't a mosh pit if it ain't no injuries. I got him stage diving out the nosebleeds." Another thing that bothered me is the ignorance of this comparison. It's disrespectful to both Helena Hutchins and the people that lost their lives at Astroworld. I'm sure that there are lots of people spreading misinformation, but the assumption that every person on the internet is some uneducated troll is ridiculous on its face. There have been a ton of people who worked at this event, a ton of people who attended this event, and now the way of sharing information through social media means that people can have more context as to what had happened, instead of it just being a lower third on some mainstream news channel. I guarantee the Houston police are going through the footage, and this may end up assisting them a lot more than Ireland thinks. According to Mail Online, Ireland Baldwin added to her earlier statement in a second post and said, "I have a pretty solid idea. Maybe we should stick to what we actually know, stop making assumptions, stop spreading misinformation, and educate ourselves on the things we know nothing about." Again, who made her the arbiter of truth? How does she know that the people talking about this situation aren't educated on what they're talking about? Of course, it's good to educate ourselves on things that we know nothing about, and I agree that people need to make less assumptions, but you can't ask for the flow of information to just stop. You can only choose which content that you want to engage with. If you keep watching videos of why Travis Scott is a demon and why this was a satanic ritual, well then dare I say you may be spending a little too much time watching conspiracy theory videos on TikTok. The algorithm just feeds you what you engage with most. So all this Ireland Baldwin post tells me is that she's been engaging a lot with misinformation instead of the actual good info that exists out there regarding this tragic event. I also don't like that she tried to make this tragedy about her family while also condemning people for not caring more about the victims of Astroworld and only wanting to spread misinformation. The funny thing about evil people is that they see evil in everyone else except for themselves. Ireland wrote in a third post, "Okay, I'm done reading shit on the internet I think forever. I am in no way defending Travis Scott because honestly I don't know him or care personally, and the only aspect of this I care about is that people died because this brand new festival neglected to have the proper safety protocols in place." She then later explained why she deleted these Instagram stories and said, "People on the internet are scary and misinformed. All that matters are the families of those who died in the Astroworld tragedy. My heart breaks for them. The point I was trying to make was stop rage blaming, make informed opinions and posts. So many people are at fault, not just one person." Indeed, many people are at fault for this, but to say that Travis shouldn't be blamed at all is a little bit ridiculous. But as always, we would love to hear your thoughts on all this, so don't forget to drop us a comment down below. I've been your host, Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy, YouTube, or at least try.